Are you ready? The Cornelia Stephanie Show. Wake up to love, your call to action. Join Cornelia as she empowers others to live heaven on earth. Cornelia teaches listeners how to be the authority over yourself, embracing your inner guru. Feel yourself uplifted into limitless expansion, integrating ease and grace in a changing world. This show will cover topics such as unconditional love, your physical body, how to be in extraordinary relationships, create financial and emotional wealth, embracing entrepreneurship in the new earth. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cornelia Stephanie Show. It's an honor and a pleasure to be with you as always. And I'm so excited to take us right into today's show, where I'm going to introduce you to a change maker in the world, and in the hopes that you feel inspired by what I shared here today. So let me introduce you to Melissa Kirk. Melissa offers consulting with the capabilities and deep industry knowledge necessary to help you solve most complex issues of your inner blueprint. Since opening her doors in 2008, they're proud to say that each year they have a bigger list of returning and new clients as well. People hire Melissa Kirk to get results. They have sought after her, explore her out of the box ideas, use her expertise to find and align with their passion and purpose. They shift their mindset to be empowered and create the lifestyle that they desire. She helps them find and purchase their dream home, attract the clients they want to work with, and improve their relationships, systemize and grow their business, and improve their health. She helps them to get to the root of the issues going on in their lives and turn things around to match their dreams, their goals, and their aspirations. Welcome to the show today, Melissa.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful to have you. So, where are you living in this state of on the planet? Where are you living?
I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay, so you're in the Pacific. Yeah, Pacific Northwest. I used to live in San Francisco too. So I live in Washington State now, and I have lived here now for the last 20 years. So, but I'm very familiar with California. Love California. Yes. So, how did you get involved in this line of work? Like, what got you started doing this work?
Well, I was in a 20-year, pretty abusive and dysfunctional relationship. And it took me a long time to have the courage to move, to leave and get out of the situation. And I had 3 small children. And I had been a stay-at-home mom after working in the corporate world for about 10 years. So I really had some soul searching to do. When I finally left, I was pretty broken. I didn't feel like I was good at anything, and I needed to reinvent myself. So a lot of what I'm doing with my clients now is helping them to get the clarity and the courage to move into going after what they want. And healing, there's a big healing process along the way for a lot of people. And so I work with mindset and healing. I work with understanding your natural blueprint. I have a psychology degree, and you learn about all the personality profiles and all of those tests that you can take. And what I really found was when I was in a broken state, I never would have answered the questions on those tests to get to where I really authentically, on a soul basis, was meant to be. And so when I started understanding, one of the first steps was scientific hand analysis. And it gave me my blueprint for success and also the blocks that I would incur. And at that time, I was, in a pretty self-deprived state. Like I wasn't very, grounded and didn't feel very good about myself. And what I learned on there was about that my my purpose here and the way that my genius is to deliver things on a verbal basis from one to many and being in front of an audience, which scared me to death because I was in a broken state. So I had a lot of personal work to do, and I learned all, just each step of the way gave me another piece to the roadmap, and just learning how to actualize it, learning how to get out of my own way. And, um, I had been doing healing and massage work, and that was really clear to me why it wasn't a great fit was because I'm in a dark room all day with one person. I'm not supposed to talk, and I'm here for verbal expression, right? So my astrology chart says that, my human design chart says that, my hand said that. So as I started gathering that information, working on getting out of my own way, healing my wounds from the past and stepping into it, and now that's what I do for my clients. So it's a pretty fun process to watch the transformation as they get the clarity and the courage and they start getting out of their own way and heal from whatever trauma they've been through. And it just sets them on a whole new course. It's really fun.
Yeah, and it's, like what you were talking about, you were in the corporate world, you were in also in a non-supporting relationship. So there was those toxins playing out, right? Relationships that weren't supporting. And then it sounds like now you have fully stepped into alignment with your true passion and your true purpose so that you can then in turn give those gifts back to the people that you support, people that were possibly are in the same position that you found yourself in, of things that you've gotten out of, and through that process you have a toolbox and you use various different blueprints. You mentioned human design, so I'm a generator, and I'm a 3-5, and so I definitely know about the human design, and I'm a lover of astrology. So I use astrology in my daily life to just empower myself with, to know when there's squares in the heavens or there's things like that going on. It's like, nope, that's not going to stop me. But it's nice to know that I know that that is there, right? That is happening because we're influenced by the planets, whether we believe it or not. You know,
Right.
it's happening. So it's interesting about the analysis, that you also use that in your toolbox. I'm curious about that a little bit. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So your hands are connected to your brain. So all the lines in your hand, it shows me what paths you take, how you're designed to operate. And the fingerprint patterns actually hold your life purpose,
Hmm.
your life lesson, which is the repeating pattern that holds you back, and your life school, which is your spiritual foundation. So when you take, just even if you only ever learn what your fingerprint pattern says, it's like understanding that you're a 3-5 generator, or it gives you a formula of, when you follow it, it just makes things easier. Just like what you were saying with the astrology, when you know there's a square, it doesn't mean you can't do it, but you recognize where the obstacles are coming from, and you put a different, your expectations are different. And then, the one thing that I found is that when you're really doing your purpose and when you're really aligned with what your charts say, it's fun. It's, you're not going to work. You're just being you. And,
Yes.
I didn't even know who I was. I was so lost when I started on this path, and when you do what you are really loving, you make a bigger impact. You make the impact your soul was here to make. And it also, it can be, it doesn't mean it's not like you have to do stuff, but it's easy, and it's you're connected with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And you want to. It's like,
yeah.
again, having the tools to support us to live our best life, and what tools are you resonating with, and that you utilize those tools for your healing, like you mentioned, the past wounds, and that you are using, the gifts that you came here to live so that you can live more fully in what it is that you came here to do. So that's really awesome. I love the fact that you said that, you guys now help entrepreneurs, your company, your business now helps entrepreneurs, again, think outside of the box, because people are so conditioned by their conditioning, and then
Mhm.
they make choices based on that. But how to move beyond that, right? And that sounds like what you guys are doing, what you're doing to help people live better lives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's fun when you start embracing the role you're designed to do, and that's a lot of what I'm doing with entrepreneurs is giving them permission to spend 80% of their time what they love doing and finding the support for, the things that get in the way, the things that bog them down, that's not their genius. It's important to do the parts that are you're good at and designed to do, and that's different for everybody.
right. And so is that one of the strategies that you're using to help business entrepreneurs?
Yes.
Yeah,
Fill
yeah,
in those gaps. And, if you don't want to do it, if you're procrastinating it, then you shouldn't be the one doing it. Because there's someone out there that loves doing that. And, they're much better at it and more efficient. And then you have more time to do the things that you're really designed for.
yeah. So every entrepreneur wants to make money. I don't
Mhm.
know any entrepreneur of any business that doesn't want to make money, right? I mean, to receive the benefits of what it is that you're designing and creating that's going to help other people's lives. So, what do you say to an entrepreneur that is not good at selling or doesn't like to sell?
Well, every person has a way of attracting money or being paid, and they have a money blueprint, just like you have, And so what might work for one person doesn't work for somebody else. You may be designed to work in a small community just with the people that you know, or you may be designed to work with people worldwide and have a big reach. But if you align with your actual formula, then that's what works for you. And that's why, a lot of coaching programs, people are teaching that, what worked for them. And, I mean, we've all gotten into a program and then they said, okay, now you need to do this. And you're like, oh, no, 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 no. I don't care how much money I'm going to make. I'm not doing that. Right. So it's when you start doing it according to your formula, there might be a little pushback in the beginning to get all of the, get your mindset straight and get in alignment. But, really it's what you're made to do will be in your chart, and your path to the money is specific to you, and everyone has one.
Yeah, and that's what you entrepreneurs realize is what is their blueprint so that they can do what it is that they're good at doing instead of learning all these different programs and techniques that are being taught by so many other entrepreneurs out there saying, do this, do this, do this. You help entrepreneurs find their own blueprint so that they can be good at what it is that they're doing.
Correct.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's really wonderful. And so can you tell us a little bit more about why is mindset important and how does it impact business owners?
So I think of mindset as kind of like when you're working on your computer. So you can have, let's just say you have Word. And as you're working on your computer, if you have malware, it's going to prevent things. It's going to make it slower. It's not going to work properly, and it's going to sabotage your end result. And so the mind works the same way. We have all these belief systems that we've been passed down by our ancestors, or we've learned and developed based on our own life experiences. And they run programs. They're always running in the background, taking up energy. So if you think that, oh, everybody else makes a lot of money, but it's hard for me, or every guy I ever meet is going to, cheat on me, or then that's what you attract. That's what will show up in your reality. And it's also what you're looking for. So many things may be present and may be true, but whatever it is that you're programmed to look for is what will show up in your reality. So when you start to recognize all beliefs are limiting, right? If you have prosperity beliefs, then you're limiting the amount of lack that you have in your beliefs, right? So whatever beliefs you have really are running your life and really running what you're experiencing. So one of the things that I work with my clients is really digging down deep. It's going to the root of where did this come from? Whatever results are happening are symptoms of what you believe on a deep level. And so by changing and rewiring the brain on a DNA level, you can actually start moving out of your parameters and start experiencing things that are out of the box for you and getting something new, because whatever we have is what is in our comfort zone. So if we want something that we don't have, it's outside of our comfort zone, and what's usually keeping us in that box is our mindset and our limiting beliefs. So when you start getting rid of those and addressing them and start getting a new perspective in the way you look at things, you can accomplish things that you were never capable of before.
Right. And so, give us an idea of a person right now that's an entrepreneur. They're struggling with their business and they don't really know, even what they need. That's, a lot of times I find this too with entrepreneurs. They're not even really sure what it is that they need. So, how would you use astrology and human design and the tools that you have to support them?
So, one thing that I think is the most important first step is getting really clear on what is the desired outcome. Because when I ask people what they want, I am surprised how many people really don't know.
Yeah.
And when they tell you what they want, they're telling you what they think that they can have. They're
Hmm.
not really telling you what they really want. They're operating within their own limitations of what they think is possible. And so I like to break down those barriers, and I like to create something that is amazing and create it maybe even in a 5-year plan. I feel like I have a hard time envisioning 5 years going out and to make a plan and goal going towards it. Because I always think back 5 years ago, and I think I never would have even had the imagination to what I was going to create. But I get them to where they're stepping outside of their box, where it's feeling really exciting and juicy for what they're going to create and the impact. And then we work backwards, working with, well, what is it going to take to get there? Because we need to be thinking on a different level. We have to have, different resources. We actually show up as a different person when we achieve that. So it's an inside job. And I like to help them to look back on, and then they're usually aware of what's scaring them or why they think they can't have it or what the blocks are. And then we address that and we go to the root. It's about going to, symptoms are easy to spot. I'm overweight, or I've got this disease, or I don't have any money. Now, those are just all symptoms of a bigger problem. And so I work with the bigger problem. I want to get down to what's really going on. What's the operating system doing? And then working on how to change that, how to change how you look at things, removing beliefs on the DNA level and rewiring the brain, and making belief systems that are empowering and that are in alignment with where they're trying to go.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting that so many people don't really know what it is that they want? And like you said, they don't even really know how to articulate it, and they also have a negative limiting belief that they're listening to and making choices on every single day, um, of what it is that they believe that they cannot have.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's so important to be able to speak out what it is that you want, to be able to identify what it is that you want, how you want to create and live your best life. And so you help entrepreneurs do that. So when they work with you, do you use the astrology and the human design and hand analysis as the tools, and then you work with them? Or are they learning these systems, or are you using them just as tools?
So I do train people on, and certify them to be readers of those platforms. But I'm definitely starting the first piece of my work with my clients is getting clear on their blueprint. And just knowing, that takes away 3 months of work of me asking questions and diving in and trying to figure out everything. When I look at someone's hands or their chart, I know so much information instantly about what we have to work with. And I always kind of envision it like you were dropped on this earth and everybody had their own tool bag.
Mm.
And if a hammer's not in your tool bag, then we don't use a hammer. If a screwdriver is in your bag, then we do things with screws. Simple way to put it. But a lot of times we just go after what our weaknesses. We're trying to overcome things that we think we should do or we've been told to do. I look back at my when I was growing up and the things my mom was interested in, the things that she's really good at, those aren't in my chart. And so it led to me thinking something was wrong with me or trying to do things that's not in my natural way of doing it. And once I really started to understand my chart, it's so much easier. So that's what I really help my clients through the coaching is learn what are your gifts, what you're good at, what you're not good at, and getting them focused on doing the things that they are meant to do and having other people support the areas that aren't their genius. And, it's funny because you can see the relief on their face when you tell them you're not doing this thing anymore. And they just like feel like, 100 pounds have come off of their shoulders just by having permission and
That's
not,
probably the weight that they're losing. One of the,
right?
when people want to lose weight, that's probably some of the weight because now they've been given permission to release those things that's no longer part of they can outsource that is basically what you're saying.
Yes.
They can outsource the things that they don't, that's not in their natural wheelhouse. They didn't come here to do that part.
Right.
So yeah, we don't have to do all the things. We
Right.
just have to do the things that we want to do and that we're good at doing. And you help people identify that and stick to that.
And then design their business around it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. So how do people, find out more about you and your work? Where do people go? And do you have any programs right now that you're offering as far as for 2022 or anything like that where people can find out more about you?
Yeah. So I have a website. It's melissakirk.com and it's KIRK. Um, I do individual coaching with people. I have training programs that are running and we do some live Q&A as well as some, like the classes we've done before. You can watch the recordings and then come to the live Q&A to get more information. There's a lot of, um, you know, paper information or workbooks and things where you can really learn a lot. And then I also probably in January, I'm going to have some of the classes for the mindset stuff. So I also teach and certify in a technique called theta healing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's about the brain wave, right? And it's similar to like NLP and hypnosis where you're rewiring the brain. So I'm certified to teach 22 different classes for that. So I'm going to be starting in January offering the first 3 basic classes that are the prerequisites for the rest. So there's lots of different opportunities and ways that we can work together. And I also offer a discovery call to just kind of explore options with people. So you can find all of it on my website.
Yeah, it sounds to me like, with the work that you're doing, you're working with people one on one, but it also sounds to me like you're training the trainer.
Yes.
It sounds to me like you're doing that. You're getting people ready to train more with the certifications that you have, and now you're training the trainer, teaching the teacher, if you will.
Yes.
So that's really beneficial for anyone to work with you. So I saw in your bio that of attraction does it really work? So what's your take on that?
I'm sorry, you broke up with what doesn't really work?
No, does it really work, the law of attraction? What
Oh,
is
the law of
your
attraction. Well, it's
yeah,
kind of what you said earlier about astrology is that you don't have to believe in it, but it's still it's still operating in your life. And the law of attraction works on vibration. So, whatever vibration you're putting out there, if you're always looking for the negative, if you're always expecting the shoe to drop or something not to work out, then that's what shows up because the way the universe works is it brings you whatever it is you're asking for. And again, it goes back to the clarity, right? One of the first things I work on with my clients is the clarity because if you think about it this way, if you go into a restaurant and you open the menu and you say, "Oh, wow, the salad looks really good." And the waitress is standing there trying to take your order and say, "But I really feel like a burger today. But I don't know, that burrito looks good." You're sent what is the waitress going to bring you? You're very confused. You've got too many things out there without clarity. So you will get nothing. It creates chaos in your life. But if you're very specific and you say exactly what you want, don't bring me this, hold that, extra this, you get an amazing customized meal. And that's how the universe works. And the law of attraction is by being clear, sending out a specific message, knowing it's going to come back and not worrying about how. The biggest thing people try to do is control the how it comes, and that's not your job. So when you start to recognize that, then everything opens up for you and you do attract what you want. And, that's how it works. So
yeah,
understanding how it works is the key because it's working either way.
yeah, and to also be clear to know that don't send mixed messages to the universe one day saying, "I want a partner, I don't want a partner. I want a partner, I don't want a partner." Because now it's
Or even saying, I want a relationship and then going out and having one night stands. Like, though you can't have both,
yeah,
right? Regardless of what it is you want, no judgment on what you want, but just be clear.
just be clear. Yeah,
Just be clear. Yeah.
just be clear. Be clear and place your order.
Yes. So
Like
it can
I
be
love that
delivered.
analogy. I love that so much because it's like, yeah, you need to be able to go to the restaurant and place your order. You need to be able, when you turn on the television and you want to watch something, you need to make a choice on what it is that you want to watch. It has to click to something. It's like that. So that's really good. You're doing really good work out there, Melissa Kirk. Is it melissakirk.com?
Yes. That's my
melissakirk.com. Very easy, you guys, to go check out her incredible work and, schedule a discovery call with Melissa to see how she can support you and how she can help you. And now I want to, just for the last 2 minutes before we close out for today, I want to invite all of you that are ready to engage with us in the Cornelia Stephanie Media Group app to go to your app store and download our app in either the Apple Store or in the Play Store, KS Media Group app. Download the app and create your free account. You're going to get a free ebook. And that is the opportunity for you to co create 2022 together with us. Go in and answer the universal question. There's a journal option there for you guys to journal what it is that you want to create in 2022 and also have privacy and track your progress throughout the year. So the KS Media Group is featuring the world's leading best influencers and entrepreneurs in our app influencing you. And the way that we can influence you is one person at a time. And so we thank you so much for listening today, for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.